Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at www.amplified.marketing. So I thought that I wanted to share with you some things that I've learned along the way. As I said, I'm Kim Becker, and we started a nonprofit organization about 14 years ago called Hello, Gorgeous. And Hello, Gorgeous restores the beauty that cancer steals. And one of the ways that we provide these services is that we provide complimentary makeovers to women battling cancer. Each of the women are nominated by family and friends, and we show up unannounced with candy and flowers, and we show up with a red carpet, greet her with a great big hello, gorgeous, and then she's treated to a day of beauty. She receives a manicure, a pedicure, a facial. If she needs a wig, we provide one. If she's ready for cut and color, we do that. And then we work with a clothier to get her a new outfit. And then at the end, we plan a big reveal party for her. And I have always felt through the 14 years that we've done this, that the reveal party is the most important part of the makeover, because I have found through our experiences that many times when women are diagnosed with cancer, people don't know what to say, so they say nothing and stay away. And the reveal party to me is so important because she looks like $1 million. She feels like $1 million. We're able to reconnect her with all of the family and friends and the support system that she did have or would have had they not been fearful about saying the wrong thing, or maybe they're fearful about the way that she looks due to the cancer diagnosis. So we're able to reconnect all of these people. And when we leave, she has that support that she needs going forward in her journey, whatever that journey looks like, whether it's continuing on with treatment, whether we get her at the end of treatment. But through all of the makeovers, as I said, for 14 years, we've done countless makeovers across the United States. And through these makeovers, it's really interesting that we found that many times, it's true, people don't know what to say, so they say nothing. And so what I wanted to bring to you today were 10 different ways that you could support your loved one through cancer. I never want it to be a question as to what to do or what to say or how to say it. She needs to have that support. In the beginning, when we first started Hello Gorgeous, my vision was to have this mobile day spa, which we have. And I wanted to create this environment that was a rolling palace on wheels, this beautiful palace that she would feel like a queen for a day during a time where she didn't feel very special. But also I thought it would create this private environment where she could just be herself. And through our hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of makeovers, we found that she spends way too much time by herself. And so then we started the salon affiliate program, where we then trained salons and affiliates how to do the Hello Gorgeous program, not how to do a pedicure and a manicure, but how to do a pedicure and a manicure on a woman battling cancer while making sure that she's safe having these services done. And we loved watching her as she walked into the salon and the team greeted her and people were doting on her and they were showing her love and support. That's when I really thought that was the right thing to do, that she really needs to be surrounded. She needs people lifting her up on a regular basis. But I also realized that the loved one feels helpless. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. Are you going to say the wrong thing? Are you going to upset her? Can you hold yourself together in her presence? Because you're upset about her diagnosis. And we watched that too, which again, the makeovers allowed the loved ones to be a part of something. When they felt like they could do nothing, we gave them something to do because we needed a partner. We needed somebody to get her clothing sizes. We needed somebody to make sure that they could gather the friends and the family, because I don't know her friends and family. And so through all of those experiences, I came up with a list of 10 ways that you can support your loved one while you're going through their cancer treatment, because that's what they need more than anything, is they need support. So even if you don't do everything on the list, if you just do a few things on the list and you do it multiple times, I think that that will really help you give her the support that she needs. So one of the first things, number one, is we need to change the question. So instead of asking, how can I help you? We need to change the question to, how can I support you? So let me explain. Years ago, my late husband's father had been diagnosed with lung cancer. And I believe he was diagnosed around maybe Father's Day, and he passed away the middle of August. So after diagnosis, he was with us about 2 months, and that was it. And so it was a very intense time for our family. My mother-in-law had passed away 20 years prior. His female friend, he was 76, 78, and his female friend was about the same age, and it wasn't necessarily her job to take care of him. And so my late husband and I were taking shifts and taking care of his dad, and we had a fifth grader at home. And so we were trying to make sure that our son was taken care of. And in the meantime, Mike had his own medical issues as well. And there would be times where I would say to Mike, well, how can I help you? Well, how can I help you? And when I would say, how can I help you? He would say, I don't need any help. There's nothing you can do. I don't need any help. And I realized that in asking, how can I help you? What I was saying to him is that, well, you must be weak because you need my help. You can't do this on your own. And so when I started to ask a different question, it elicited a different response. So instead of saying, Mike, how can I help you today? Which automatically came back as, I don't need your help. I'm fine. I can do this by myself. To, Mike, how can I support you today? And when I changed the question, I got a different response. Well, you could really support me today if you can just make sure that our son gets back and forth to school. You can really support me today if you can do whatever it is. Mow the grass, take care of the house so I don't have to worry about it. Whatever that looked like. But when you change the question, you also change the answer. So the first one would be, change your question to, how can I support you? The second one would be, is use a greeting other than, how are you doing? To look at them, you kind of got an idea as to how they're doing. A few weeks back, I was at the doctor's office. I had a checkup myself, and I was actually at the oncologist's office. And there was a woman that was there. She was sitting in her wheelchair, and she recognized me. I have to be very honest with you. I'm not sure. I knew her, but I wasn't sure where or how I knew her. And she said to me, hi. And I said, hi, how are you doing? And after I got in the elevator to go up to the second floor, I thought that was the dumbest question I could have asked her. She's sitting in a wheelchair in an oncology office. How do I think she's doing? Probably not very well. And so I feel like if you ask people how they're doing, they're either going to say fine or okay. I caught myself, after my kid passed away, I caught myself, people would say, how are you doing? And I would say, I'm okay. That was all I had. But because I got tired of answering the question, how am I doing? So find another way to ask, how are you doing? And so here's a couple of suggestions. When somebody says to you, you can walk into them and say, it's so good to see you. Or instead of asking, how are you doing, say, hey, what's up? Or what's new? Or you look great. Just something other than saying, how are you doing? It's kind of, I guess, implied how they're doing if they've lost their hair and they've been vomiting all morning. Again, ask a question to get a different response. The third thing is, if you can, now I understand we're in the middle of COVID right now, but if you can get close to your loved one, if it's somebody that you visit regularly or a parent or somebody that you lived with, I'll tell you what, a hand or a foot massage can be magical. Touch is the first thing that we experience when we're born, and many times it's the last thing that we experience before we leave this earth. And touch is very powerful. And people don't understand how powerful touch can be. Years ago, we did a makeover on a woman. We actually did it in the Mobile Day Spa in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. And we surprised her and brought her into the Mobile Day Spa, and we had done the facial, and we were getting ready to do the pedicure. and we prepared the foot bath with a disposable liner, and we were soaking her feet in it. And she was telling us about how she had lost her toenails, and she didn't know how many of the toenails were still there, and we were, that we probably didn't have much to work with, was basically what she was telling us. And we said, you know what, that's okay, we'll just do what we can. So we soaked her feet in warm water, and I remember my certified makeover specialist had actually taken her foot and had started to give her a foot massage. And as she was doing the foot massage, our recipient was sitting there, and she had these tears streaming down her face. And I remember my makeover specialist asked her, "Are you okay?" And she said, I'm okay. She said, "It's just been a really long time since anybody's touched me like that." Again, I think people are afraid to touch for fear that you're going to cause harm, but touch is so powerful. And so if you have an opportunity to give a loved one just a hand massage or a foot massage, just something to relax them or just to let them know that they're loved, that's huge. Now, if you have the opportunity to visit a loved one with cancer, make sure that you take all the necessary precautions that are given in the midst of COVID-19. So remember that she is the one that is at risk because of her compromised immune system. So if you're sick, don't visit your loved one. When you visit your loved one, make sure you wear a mask. As soon as you enter their home, make sure that you go and wash your hands immediately. And then I would just keep hand sanitizer by you and use it frequently throughout your visit. But I'm telling you, a hand and foot massage would be very magical. The fourth thing, laughter is the best medicine. If there's a way that you can get your friend who is diagnosed with cancer to laugh, it would be incredible. And the best, just to forget about the blues. When was the last time that you actually sat and had a belly laugh? Like laughed so hard that you had tears coming down your face and tears running down your legs. How long has it been since you've laughed that hard? And if you can remember the time that you laughed that hard, how did it feel after you got done laughing that hard? I remember that there are times where when I look back on those memories of laughing that hard, that I continue to laugh thinking back to the time that I was laughing. So laughter is a wonderful vacation from your reality. So if you can suggest a movie or bring up a time that you shared a memory together that made you laugh, just anything that you can do to make the mood a little lighter would be absolutely positively huge for her, or I say her because we deal with women with cancer, but even if it wasn't her, if it was a male, anybody who's going through a tough time, laughter is the best way to forget your blues. Number 6, buy your friend a new pair of earrings. So one of the things that we hear so very often is that when a woman is going through cancer treatment, that she doesn't feel very girly. You have to think about it, right? Cancer steals everything that makes us feel like a woman. It can steal, it can steal our hair. It can steal our eyebrows, our eyelashes, our nose hairs, which then your nose runs all the time. If it's breast cancer, it can steal your breasts. Everything that makes you feel like a woman, cancer can steal. And so having something as simple as a new pair of earrings just makes you feel girly again. Years ago, my sister was diagnosed with cancer. She had a very rare, it was a neuroendocrine cancer, and it was a cervical cancer. It was very aggressive. And I remember we had shaved her head because she started to lose her hair. And she had a hat on, and she had to go to the drugstore to pick up a prescription. And she was standing in line, and I remember her calling me, and that there were people in line that just looked at her like she was sick, and that she obviously that she had cancer. And she called me. I remember her saying, why do people have to be that way? Why do they have to look at me like that? And we immediately went into action, and we met our sister at another sister's house, and I went and got a cute hat, and we did her makeup. But the one thing I remember is we bought her some big funky earrings. And in one of the books that I wrote, it's called I Promise to Put My Lipstick On When I Get There. I always say there's a chapter that's devoted to the balder the head, the bigger the earrings. because earrings can make a woman feel feminine, and it's something that you can do right now, right? If you can't, you may not be able to go buy her a new shirt because you don't know what her size is like. You may not be able to buy her a new shirt if she's had a mastectomy. How is it going to feel, or how is it going to fit if she doesn't have her breasts right now, or she's in the process of reconstruction? You may not be able to buy pants. You may not be able to buy shoes, but you know what? Earrings are a one size fit all. So if you can find some fun, funky earrings, I promise you that that will lift her mood up more than you can ever know. So find some earrings and make sure that you give them to your friend. Number 7, plan a future event. I feel like so many times that when a woman is diagnosed with cancer, she feels like it's the end. And it's not. Nowadays, with the way that cancer treatment has come so far, that the survival rate of cancer is so much greater now than what it ever was before. But I feel like when they're in the presence of others, that people don't talk about the future because they don't know what her future looks like because of what she's going through. The best gift that you can give her is to talk about the future, because then that gives her the confidence. Oh, good, they're talking about something 3 years from now and they're including me in it. That means they have the confidence in me that I'm still going to be here. It gives them something to look forward to. We had a friend and her husband that when she was diagnosed with cancer, it was a sarcoma, a kind of an aggressive sarcoma. But one of the things that they did was they actually planned a cross-country trip for like next summer, so that they had something to look forward to. She was very excited about finishing her treatment so that they could go on that cross-country trip. So do something. Plan a girls' trip when her treatment is over with. Maybe it's not even something that big. Maybe it's just after your next chemo, we're going to go to lunch. Or after your next chemo, we're going to go get manicures. Or, we're going to go take a girls' weekend. We're going to ride to the beach, whatever that is. But do something to plan an event in the future, because that will make a big difference to her, and it will give her confidence that you believe that she can beat this and that she's going to be here for whatever event it is that you have planned. Number 8, send regular notes of encouragement. That is something that you can do that is very simple, but it's a really great reminder for the woman battling cancer that she's not been forgotten. So 3 years ago, when my husband passed away, this is not in any way, shape, or form an exaggeration. For 8 weeks after Mike passed away, I would say every single day the mail was delivered for 8 weeks, I received between 15 and 20 sympathy cards in the mail. 15 to 20. I have a whole box of all the sympathy cards that I received. And what that did for me was it reminded me that I wasn't forgotten. It reminded me that even though all of the other people had gone back to their normal lives and their normal families, they were still aware of the fact that my life was no longer normal. It's the same thing with a woman battling cancer. She's going through chemo treatment. Her new life is now all about, when's your next chemo? How can I take the medicine to counteract the effects of the chemotherapy? When's my next radiation? When's my next doctor appointment? When's my next blood draw? That's what her new life is all about. Your life is all your normals. Her life is nothing but normal. But when she receives an encouraging note in the mail, she knows that you're aware of what she's going through. And those little sentiments in the card, those little things to let her know that she's being remembered, is huge. People just don't, you have no idea what that little card will do for her. So little cards, regular notes of encouragement is absolutely something that you could do, and something that she would really appreciate. Number 9, encourage her to journal. And even if you have to go out and buy her a journal and her, favorite pen, there is something very healing in journaling. I journal for my son every day. I never wanted Seth to think that our organization, that Hello Gorgeous, was more important than him. So I made sure that I kept a journal for him, so that when he came back and asked me things, that he could go back through and he could see exactly all of the things that I remembered about when he was growing up. But there was something it was good for me to journal, right? Because your child does something that's really cute and you're like, oh, I'm going to remember that forever. And then the next day he says something really cute and you're like, what was it yesterday that he did that was really cute? I think sometimes journaling is healing because you can't look at the future. And we don't realize how strong we are as women. And when she gets through this journey and she gets to the other side of this journey, this journal is going to be a great reminder as to how strong she was. On the days where she didn't feel like getting up and she got up anyway, and the days that she didn't feel like participating in life and she participated anyway. So, encouraging her to journal is a great way to get her thoughts out of her head, to keep her on track of where she's headed, right? This is not forever. This is just a blip on the timeline. She just needs to get through it. And the journaling really helps to get out of your head. It's a great way to express your feelings when you don't feel like that you can share with anybody else. Also, there's a wonderful thing. It's called morning pages. I hired a life coach years ago, and she really encouraged me to do morning pages, which is just where you get up and you have a notebook and you fill whatever 1-2 pages of the notebook page. And it's just simply you write for the trash can. You write to throw it away. If there's anything that's in there that's yucky, that's holding you back, it's not for the intent for you to ever revisit it again. And it's not of the intent for you to share it with anybody. It's just simply for you to get it out. So morning pages are a huge way to get that out of your head. But journaling is something that I would highly encourage because it can be very healing and a great way for her to deal with some of the feelings and emotions that she has that she doesn't know how to deal with. And number 10, one of the best things that I can say to encourage you to do is to offer to set up a Caring Bridge page for her. Caring Bridge is a wonderful online free resource that allows you to keep loved ones informed about your health journey, where you don't have to keep repeating the same story over and over and over again. Now, years ago, when I was a hairdresser and I was standing behind the chair and my husband was sick for 20 years. And so in and out of the hospital, and my clients were so loving and they all wanted to know what was happening with Mike and what was going on and where he was at and how his health was doing. But when you've got 14 clients a day and you're repeating the same story over and over and over again, there are times at the end of the day where I made his situation so much worse than what it was, and you get tired of talking about it. You get tired of talking about it. It was so much more like cemented the reality in as to what was really happening. Caring Bridge is awesome because you can go in and you can invite people to the page. So it's not out on some of the other social media platforms for everybody to see. It's just a private and group of people. And you put in there what you want them to know. But instead of them coming back and asking her all the time or asking her husband or asking a sister, you can just simply invite them to the Caring Bridge page and everything is right there. And you can update that regularly. And if the gorgeous woman is feeling well enough, she can update it regularly, which would be another way for her to journal. The other part of that, then, is she gets to limit her social media. You know, I feel like so many times that people put their Kodak moments on social media and we compare our normal everyday life to other people's Kodak moments. And let me tell you, when you're sitting in the mirror and looking at yourself bald with no eyebrows, the last thing you want to see is somebody that, you know, got a Kodak moment of them looking like, you know, a supermodel. So I think that a Caring Bridge page and offering to set that up for her would be a wonderful gift, even if you learned how to do it and you showed her how to do it or a loved one to maintain that. So those are my top 10 tips on how to support your loved one during cancer. But I wanted to give you a few other resources that we have. If you visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org, we have a free resources page where there's all kinds of how-to videos. This podcast is there with a lot of different episodes. There's some PDF downloads on there. We have several books. The first book is Stories of Women Battling Cancer. The second book is basically a how-to guide for any woman battling cancer. We offer a hope chest, which is a box of goodies that you could send to your loved one just to let them know that they're not forgotten. There's all kinds of things that are Kim Becker approved for a woman battling cancer. And lastly, we have an online course which walks her through 5 different modules, how to deal with some of the effects and the side effects of her cancer treatment. So I invite you to check those out on our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. If you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with to better support your loved one battling cancer, please feel free to email me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org. Thank you for joining me today on Hello Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker. And until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight and loving the night away. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that. I remember